Modified Tour, from the Monaco Tri-Track Series, from the ROC, from upstate, from independent races, from down south. It's all going to be put to the test here today. Pace car dives to the inside. Here's Kyle Rickey with the start of the greatest race in the history of spring.
Jake Johnson to bring the field off of turn 4. Green flag is out, and what a jump by Johnson as he goes to turn number 1. As the race leader, Joey Cipriano will be kicked back into at least a battle for third. Mike Christopher Jr. up to the second spot.
Michael Christopher setting in second. Meanwhile, coming off the turn, the side-by-side story was short-lived, but it was Matt Hirschman setting back in the 5th position. Now, down the back straightaway, lead change. It is Michael Christopher, puts Jimmy Page's, the LeMay prepared car, to the front of the class.
Lap 2 and 2 different leaders. Mike Christopher Jr. goes to the point. Johnson slides in the line in second. Ramu in the 3rd spot as they thin out up the back straightaway. Cipriano back to 4th. Matt Hirschman in 5th. At this point of the race, Ben, just pace yourself, click laps off, maybe save some tire just to get to the final, say, 20 laps of this event.
Meanwhile, we just took a look at what's happening just out of the top 5. John McKennedy, car 79, former champion of that Whelen Modified Tour, tries to move in down low. McKennedy, on his back bumper is Ronnie Silk. Silk is currently shown in the 8th position. McKennedy is in the 6th spot. That just changed as they come off turn number 4.
5 laps in the books here, and it's Christopher out front. Jake Johnson in second. Good racing just into the top 10. Marcello Refrano gets kicked to the outside lane. Will lose a couple of spots, including McKennedy, who goes to the inside. Ron Silk part of that traffic as well in car number 16. Everybody will get back in the line. Now one driver, that's Matt Hirschman, no surprise, sticking his nose out of line in 5th. Ron Silk lined up just behind him in a race for that spot with McKennedy.
There's no question about it. Silk has got the car to beat. It's run on the bottom of this racetrack. John McKennedy is there. He's right behind. Silk is behind Hirschman as they continue to rumble down into turn number 1. Out front, Michael Christopher. They just got the engine for that car just this past week. Billy the Kid providing the big power there. And there, Jake Johnson, the Lynn's Trucking Company car, setting in second. Now let's look a little further back. Silk is all over the back bumper of Hirschman. And Joey Cipriano is directly in front of him. Oh, Cipriano. Car got evil for a second. That set off the ripple effect there.
A little bit of a wiggle there off of turn number 2. A half a lap to go for Cipriano, but hangs on to 4th over Matt Hirschman in 5th. Hirschman just in front of Ron Silk, who is looking for 3 wins in a row in this race. Silk out of line, peeking to the inside of Matt Hirschman for position number 5. 2 of the best in the business.
Phil Moran knows how to set up a race car for Stafford. He is the crew chief. He knows how to
trouble turn 1. One car around, kind of snapped around over in the corner. That's the 20 at Di Matteo.
Di Matteo in the Zarnecki. Remo, Cipriano, Hirschman, Silk. Here they come. Spotters with their hands on the button. Green, 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 and we are racing.
Back underway as they go to turn 1. They stack up further back out of the top 15. It's Christopher to the inside of Johnson to the backstretch. Ramo in 3rd. Hirschman in 4th. Cipriano, who started on the front row of this race, back to 5th. May lose a spot here to Ron Silk.
While all that has been happening, Jake Johnson is trying to work his magic in the outside lane. How does it work? He runs right out tight to the wall, gets plenty of momentum, has it by inches, but off the turn. Will a brand new leader emerge? Yes, it does. Jake Johnson. And if Johnson can do it, why can't Sammy Ramo? He's all over the back bumper of Michael Christopher. Hirschman is there, and Ronnie Silk is among the shining stars in this event.
Just out of the top three are those two cars of Hirschman in fourth, Silk in fifth. Bit of a gap back to Cipriano. Here comes Ron Silk inside of the racetrack on Hirschman in a bid for position number 4. Ron Silk up to fourth now, inching his way up toward the front of the field where he has been so many times over the last few years, and he's looking for a podium spot now, battling Ramo for third.
Good battle shaping up between Matt Swanson in the 8th
and
spot.
around goes Cipriano in turn 2.
Oh.
Everybody will go to the inside and try to avoid.
Mikey Flynn spins after the fact. Chris Pastriak.
And the field, keeping an eye on the 16 car on pit lane. Let's see if he can get back out there. It doesn't appear like he will, at least for this restart as they come off of turn 4. There's the green flag. We go back underway without the two-time and defending champion of this race as Jake Johnson brings the field back to turn number 2.
He comes off that turn so strong, but look at the guy who has moved in to the top 3. He has worked his way around, over, and through, and it is Matt Swanson. Swanson, car 25, the Gary Casella, Mully's race car, now is all over Ramo in a bid for the 2nd spot. Can't close the deal yet. Hirschman is there, John McKennedy, all among the top 5.
Here comes Swanson out of line up the front straightaway to the inside of Ramo for the runner-up spot as Johnson pulls away at the point. Lot of red from 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Matt Hirschman joins that pack, as does John McKennedy.
Silk has dropped out of the event. We'll find out more in just a minute, but right now, red is the color that is hot, and it is Swanson who moves into 2nd. Meanwhile, Hirschman, the Bar Harbor Bank Machine, moves into the top 3. And in 4th spot is Ramo. And here comes Stephen Kopcik. With him, it is John McKennedy to round out the top 6. Michael Christopher is 7th. And then it is Austin Beers up to the 8th spot.
Christopher, a former leader in this race in the early circuits of the event, back into the second half of the top 10, running 7th right now in front of Austin Beers as they go back to the corner. Good battle behind them between Lutz and Goodale for 9th and 10th. Battle single out for now as we watch the front of the field.
Trouble now.
Ramo out of shape.
Ramo gets a bump, and then the car snapped, and it was almost what they called a photo finish in the process. Congratulations to Ryan from all of us here at Stafford Speedway.
Back in underway here, Jake Johnson back to turn number 1 as the race leader, inching toward the 1/4 point of this 53rd Napa Springs Sizzler. Johnson leads up the back straightaway. Swanson up to 2nd, has had to make his way through the field, through the heat race, and now through this, the main event, and has done just that in car number 25. Up to 2nd and looking to become the next leader of this event.
And he's doing a pretty good job at it. Meanwhile, in the mid-pack of cars, we've got some movers and shakers also starting to work their way to the front of this field. Woody Pitcat has now come back to life with Goodale and the number 10 car of Keith Rocco. Those cars are currently running back in the bottom of the top 10. Pitcat is shown in 8th, Goodale in 9th, and Keith Rocco in the 10th position. Now, looking back towards the front of the field.
No real change for position. Jake
Nope.
Johnson and Matt Swanson, 1st and 2nd. Little
Just
gap back to
riding it
3rd
out.
with Matt Hirschman in that spot. McKennedy in 4th. The way they run right now, coming around to complete lap 25.
Quarter of the race is all but history. And one car has dominated, Jake Johnson, the competitor who cut his teeth at Seekonk Speedway, moved on to Thompson, moved on to the Whelen Modified Tour, and the Monaco Tri-Track Series. The Linz Trucking Machine in command. Behind him, Matt Swanson, perhaps the Cinderella story of this event. Backup car had no laps. But it is looking very racy right now. Matt Hirschman, Bar Harbor Bank, the sponsor. John McKennedy up to 4, Austin Beers for 5. Michael Christopher setting in 6th. Lutz is 7th. Pitcat is 8th. Goodale is 9th. And Keith Rocco rounds out the top 10.
Watching mid-pack a moment ago, car number 1, Stephen Kopcik, trying to make his way back up through. He is up to the 13th position in that one car, just behind Marcello Refrano as they make their way to the exit of turn number 4. Leaders are already back in 1. No real change. Everyone still trouble. One car up against the outside wall in turn number 2. That's Ronnie Williams.
And 25 has been told they are on notice for being a little bit too rambunctious.
Inside lane gets the jump this time as they go to 1. That's Jake Johnson. And now Swanson under fire from Matt Hirschman. That did not last long. Hirschman will take the 2nd spot. Swanson in 3rd in front of Ramo and McKennedy in a nose-to-nose battle with Mike Christopher Jr. for 5th.
Well, it appears all of a sudden Austin Beers has moved into the top 4 in the Jensen 179 car. So again, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position, all red cars coming forward. Here comes John McKennedy on the inside, and with him comes Jake Lutz and Woody Pitcat and Eric Goodale. Pitcat all of it. Oh, sideways.
In front of half the field, up the back straightaway. Everybody's trying to get Wood down. A little bit of contact there with Salamito further back and around.
Together nicely. Jake Johnson's got a new player to the outside, Matt Hirschman. And Johnson, again, with a positive thrust out front. And guess who's coming back to life? Matt Swanson. But now on the outside, it is Beers, and here comes John McKennedy with the 179.
McKennedy to the inside will take that 4th spot away as they go back to turn number 1. Top 3, now 4 cars get single file. Good racing for 5th. Beers and Pitcat going at it. Austin Beers, Woody Pitcat having to come back up through the field. Eric Goodale's been fairly quiet so far in this event. He has stayed out of trouble. And Joey Cipriano, who started at the front of this event, fell back, was involved in an incident. He's now trying to come back through in car number 51.
Doing a pretty good job. There's a great battle going on for that 8th, 9th, and 10th position. Competitors that visited pit road, including Anthony Nocella, Sammy Ramo, and Brian Roby, all are running right there in a pack. Back up front, leader still remains Jake Johnson. Trouble now. Car number 58, Eric Goodale had to back out of it for a minute, and that was the battle for the 7th spot.
Goodale will get back in the line behind Joey Cipriano. Top 7 cars roll away from the field. Here's Woody Pitcat all over the back bumper of Austin Beers for position number 5. Beers has it. Pitcat closes quickly off of turn number 2, and it's within striking distance of that spot. Top 4 have settled into line. Jake Johnson, Matt Hirschman, Matt Swanson, John McKennedy as they hit the line. Now 13 laps shy of halfway.
Woody Pitcat has all of a sudden started to work his magic. He is all over the back bumper of Austin Beers. That's short-lived. He went by him. And now Woody Pitcat has found a home in the top 5 for the first time this afternoon, and he is looking quick. Off the turn. Still remains. Same margin between 1st and 2nd. Jake Johnson, 0.3 over Matt Hirschman. Matt Swanson trying to shake off John McKennedy. And that is not an easy task by any stretch of the imagination.
John McKennedy doing a nice job, maybe not using up his equipment, using up his tires, managing the race car right now, running in fourth, keeping Swanson within striking distance. Top two, not too far out in front with Johnson and Hirschman. That's about to be a battle for the race lead. Hirschman is there on the back bumper as they race to turn number 1, 9 laps shy of halfway in this 100-lap 53rd Napa Springs Sizzler.
And Jake Johnson definitely has done a masterful job of setting the pace, still remaining last circuit by about 5/10 over Matt Hirschman. Bottom of the top 10, Tyler Ripkema moves into 10th. Keith Rocco is in 11th. Anthony Nocella is in 12th. Brian Roby is 13th. Marcello Rafano is 14th. And Timmy Solomito will round out the top 15.
Timmy Solomito under fire now from Chase Dowling as they hit the line for that spot. Dowling makes the pass with ease back in turn 1 as we keep an eye on this battle just into the top 5. The 25 of Swanson, the 79 of McKennedy, the 8 of Pitcat, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Half straightaway behind the lead duo of Jake Johnson and Matt Hirschman. In fact, Johnson opening up his lead just a little bit over Matt Hirschman. What was 2 or 3 car lengths a few laps ago? About 4 or 5 this time by 5 laps from halfway. We do want to mention the halfway bonus leader, or the bonus for the race leader from Tick Mike, $500 to the leader at lap 50, and that's just 5 laps away.
Now Woody Pitcat again applies the pressure to John McKennedy. Matt Swanson is just in front of them. 3-car bid. Then off the turn, Cipriano and Tyler Ripkema battle. Chase Dowling, Keith Rocco approaching the top 10. We are 4 laps shy of the halfway marker.
Lambros on the pit lane over in turn number 3 as the leader is off of turn 2. And Jake Johnson continuing to tiptoe away just a bit from Matt Hirschman. The battle for 3rd is best. On your screen right now, Matt Swanson in the 25, then McKennedy and Pitcat. No real change the last 5 or 6 trips around the racetrack. Maybe now there will be as McKennedy steps out of line going into turn number 1 on Matt Swanson for 3rd.
Here's another battle. Chase Dowling just went in and picked up and moved into the top 10. Meanwhile, we're back up there with Matt Swanson. John McKennedy trying everything to make the move. Woody Pitcat choosing the same line, and directly behind him is Joey Cipriano. Swanson slips up just a bit. Here comes Pitcat. Pitcat moves in, picks up the spot, halfway down, halfway to go.
And the $500 bonus from Tick Mike is awarded to Jake Johnson here at lap number 50. So congratulations to Jake picking up the halfway leader bonus. So that means 50 down, 50 to go. Now 49 at the stripe as Johnson margin remains the same. Back to Hirschman in 2nd. Large gap back to 3rd. A lot of racing happening there with Woody Pitcat making some moves and taking that 3rd spot away a lap ago. McKennedy in the mix. Cipriano coming back to life in car number 51. Cipriano is 4th. McKennedy going the wrong way. Not sure if there's an issue with that car, but the 79 in the top 5 a lap ago has fallen to about the 8th spot.
He certainly has. And
around he goes, maybe saves it.
Saves it. What a save for John McKennedy. Austin Beers sneaks in there as well. And that is the battle at the bottom of the top 10. Meanwhile, Ramo trying to fight off the 32 of Tyler Ripkema. Chase Dowling in the 7th spot now. Swanson has dropped back to the 8th position. So Matt Swanson starting to fade just a bit, but Jake Johnson continues to set a blistering pace. Matt Hirschman still in 2nd. Woody Pitcat in third. Joey Cipriano still setting in fourth. Ramo with the 06 car.
Jake Johnson about to have his hands full as there is a gaggle of lap cars just in front of him, or soon to be lap cars potentially if this race stays under the green flag. Timmy Solomito among them. Max Zachem is in that mix. Galco, Lambros, Kopcik in the 1 car, all in front of the race leader in turn number 4. And all wanting to stay on the lead lap just in case there is a caution flag here. Longest green flag run of the event, longest green flag run of the day.
Sure is. 57 laps up on the big board. Now Solomito. We're looking at a mid-pack battle. Here comes Stephen Kopcik, the 1 car, to the inside of Solomito. Kopcik moves forward.
Trying to put some cars between himself and the race leader, Jake Johnson, bearing down on them. Solomito and now the 13 of Zachem are side by side, just in front of Jake Johnson.
Here comes, challenging to the inside of Woody Pitcat, Tyler Ripkema and Chase Dowling. Remember him? He was on pit road. He's now among the top 6
Trouble back
cars.
straightaway, and it's Zachem that goes around off.
Jake Johnson is there. Chase Dowling, Woody Pitcat. Back up through the gears. Ramo is there. Look at Kopcik. He muscles his way in to take over second. Here comes Chase Dowling to the inside of Tyler Ripkema, and Dowling moves into the 3rd position. Kopcik knocking on Sammy Ramo's back bumper. All of a sudden, Jake Johnson is there. And what about Chase Dowling? He was on pit road a few laps back.
Battle for the lead, start-finish line. Stephen Kopcik to the inside of Sam Ramo for the top spot with 39 laps to go. New leader by the time they get to the back straightaway. Stephen Kopcik to the point. Ramo in second. Jake Johnson in third. There's trouble behind him. Couple cars into the outside safer wall in turn 3.
It is John McKennedy. And in addition to that, Austin Beers is involved. Problems on pit road, overcame them. Jake Johnson been up front all day. Tyler Ripkema and Woody Pitcat all there. Green flag is back out. Battle is for second.
And trouble in turn number 1. Jake Johnson goes around and gets into the outside safer wall while racing for about the 3rd spot, and we go back under yellow.
It appears that Johnson, and behind that, well, you know that story. But right now, here we go again.
Back underway, Sam Ramo will bring the field into turn number 1. Kopcik to his outside. Chase Dowling, Timmy Solomito mixing it up for 3rd. Look at Kopcik, what a rocket ship off of turn 2 and up the back straightaway to take the top spot in car number 1, moving into P number 1.
Off the turn, Kopcik becomes the leader. Meanwhile, setting in second is Ramo, with Dowling up to the 3rd spot, and Timmy Solomito worked his way from the back as well, and here comes Eric Goodale. Remember, Goodale is always a closer in these events. He comes on exceptionally strong. Here comes Dowling. Tries to make a bid down underneath Ramo. Didn't stick, but he almost was there. 6 cars in single file formation for the 2nd spot. And here comes Solomito to try it again. Dowling makes a bid. Bottom shot move. Chase Dowling puts the Tineo S&S. Paving 44 up to 2nd. Meanwhile, Ramo settles back in, and Eric Goodale is also marching to the front.
Back to the stripe. Let's see if the interval between the top two is getting closer. It's about 0.3 of a second between Kopcik and Dowling, first and second. Then another couple tenths back to Sam Ramo in third. He leads that second pack of traffic. That also includes Timmy Solomito, Eric Goodale, Anthony Nocella, and Matt Hirschman.
Kopcik continues to be the dominant car, 67 of 100. Meanwhile, as Kopcik tries to run away and hide, Solomito is all over Sammy Ramo for that third spot. 0.5 separates Stephen Kopcik and his old pal Chase Dowling setting in second.
Great racing continuing from third on back. Ramo, Solomito, Goodale. Nobody stepping out of line as of yet. Anthony Nocella in the mix. Oh, big wiggle there by Solomito. Drifts wide off of turn two. Opens the door for Eric Goodale to take the fourth spot away. And here comes Nocella now to the inside to try to crack the top five in car number 92.
Meanwhile, Matt Hirschman has moved into the seventh spot. Anthony Nocella is up to sixth position now. Good battle. Battle is for the third spot. All the way back to the seventh position. Marcello Rafano up to eighth. Swanson is back in the top nine. And Brian Roby is setting in 10th.
Here comes Goodale up to third in car number 58. Made the move on Solomito, who's back in fourth now. So Eric Goodale in third, 1.4 seconds behind race leader Stephen Kopcik. Let's see what his lap times look like here as we get toward the final quarter of this event. Working lap number 73, which goes in the books right now. 1.2 seconds. So Goodale a little bit quicker in third.
And it is 0.3 between Kopcik, the leader, and Chase Dowling in second. Meanwhile, Anthony Nocella trying to get around Timmy Solomito. Goodale continuing about 1.1 back there in the third position. Solomito continues to work him over. 75 of 100, all but gone here at the half mile for the greatest race in the history of spring.
Still about 1.3 seconds back to Goodale, who has to go on the defense now because Timmy Solomito battling for that position in fourth, Anthony Nocella in fifth. You see those three cars tightly bunched as they make their way back down to the stripe. Now with 23 laps, it will be 23 to go at the line as the race leader is in turn number 3. Kopcik out front, Dowling in second. 0.6 between the top two last time by.
Kopcik continues to string it out. Timmy Solomito trying to hold off Anthony Nocella. Dowling still in a very convincing second as they come up on lots of lap traffic. And it is still the same margin. Nobody is gaining on anyone.
Now moving around David Arute, race leader Stephen Kopcik will make that pass, as will Chase Dowling in the second spot. Eric Goodale in third and unable to close, while 1.6 seconds back in that position. Anthony Nocella, Timmy Solomito rounding out the top five. No real battle for position except for that third spot with Goodale and Nocella. That is on your screen right now, going into turn one, the 58 and the 92 to the exit of turn two and up the back straightaway. Now into the final 20. Caution.
Caution flag comes. Each of those laps were worth $100 additional dollars. Down on pit road, Sammy Ramo was in, and still two other cars setting stranded. Off the turn, here's the green. Kopcik on the inside. Dowling in the upper lane. Digging in hard in the outside. Bid is for second. Eric Goodale moves to the inside. Off the turn. This time it's Eric Goodale. Here comes Anthony Nocella. Nocella down underneath. Dowling takes over third. Shuffles the deck. Dowling tries to move back into third. Here they come. It is still Kopcik out in front.
18 laps to go. Kopcik at the point. Eric Goodale trying to keep pace in the second spot. Car 58. Here comes Anthony Nocella in the 92. Nocella had a run off of the corner, but Goodale had the momentum up the back straightaway, maintains the second spot. Haven't heard from Matt Hirschman since he made his pit stop. He's kind of trapped in traffic right now, just outside of the top 5. Salamito in a race with Pitcat, just in front of Matt Hirschman, who runs 7th.
Those 3 cars have been in a dogfight battle. Look ahead. Here comes Anthony Nocella. Sneak peek down underneath the GAF roofing machine. Anthony Nocella right there. That's your second and third place podium cars. Then side by side, look back for the 5th spot. There comes Woody Pitcat. Salamito isn't happy about that. He's giving him a run for the money. Hirschman, after a problem on pit road, he has worked his way back into the top 7. Brian Roby up to 8th. Marcello Rafano is now in 8th. Roby drops back to 9th. And Matty Galco rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, Roby stuck in the outside lane up the back straightaway. Now Galco goes to his inside in car number 3 to take that position away as Kopcik pulls away at the point. 9/10 of a second back to Eric Goodale in the runner-up position. Nocella still in 3rd and still trying to move around Eric for that spot. And then a bit of a gap back to Chase Dowling, running in 4th and unchallenged as they come back to the stripe with 12 laps to run.
Keep your eyes on this battle with Anthony Nocella. He is all over Eric Goodale's back bumper. 2 drivers with a lot of the same characteristics in their driving style, contending for second, while Stephen Kopcik is in a zone of his own at the front of the field.
What was 1 second is now 1.1, so a little bit quicker is Kopcik over Goodale and Nocella, who are shifting their attention to each other in a race for that second spot as it continues off of turn number 4. No real change, and here comes Nocella again. Gets a good run off the corner, but Goodale has that high side momentum and hangs on to the position.
Again, Nocella trying to work his magic to the bottom, less than 10. As we count them down to the greatest race in the history of spring. And now Goodale has been able to shake off Anthony Nocella. Woody Pitcat continues to battle with Salamito. And here comes Anthony Nocella again. It just doesn't work. He's trying everything.
Galco, Rafano, Roby all in a race for position.
Oh.
The pack in a car out of shape. That's Roby that gets turned by Zachem ultimately off of turn number 2.
And here is what could be
Start.
Here
Does
we
Eric
go.
Goodale have anything left for Stephen Kopcik?
Stephen Kopcik guards the inside lane. Goodale, good start. Kopcik stays low on the bottom. Kopcik comes off the turn. Here comes Anthony Nocella. Look at Woody Pitcat. Oh, trouble now. And we've got 2 cars.
Chase Dowling one of them, Eric Goodale the other, and a very dejected Eric.
Made an adjustment, came out and was flying to the front of the field. Will Stephen Kopcik become the closer? Anthony Nocella digging in hard in the outside lane. Kopcik is still there. Nacella giving it his all in the upper groove, but Kopcik's got a rocket on the inside. 4 cars under a blanket. Kopcik by inches at the line.
With 7 laps to go, Kopcik back in line. Nocella on his back bumper, literally off of turn number 2. Nocella looking to build a run. Can't make a move. Woody Pitcat lurking there in third as they enter turn 4. Here's a challenge for the race lead down to the line.
Anthony Nacella muscles his way into the bottom of the turn. Anthony Nacella by a bumper. Anthony Nacella and Steven Kopcik. Nacella takes over the lead. Anthony Nacella out in front. Kopcik isn't done yet. Here comes Pitcat, Salamito, and we are still less than 5 laps to go.
Anthony Nocella back to turn number 2. Here comes Steven Kopcik with a run on the bottom, trying to rebound here. Back to the inside, bottom shot in turn 3. Kopcik to the inside, Nocella topside for the race lead.
No question about it, he left the door open. And who came in? It was Steven Kopcik. Kopcik becomes the leader again. Meanwhile, Anthony Nacella trying to reel him back in. But time is starting to run out. This time off turn number 4, when they cross the stripe, 97 are complete. 3 laps to go.
3 to run for Steven Kopcik out front, looking to break away from Anthony Nocella. 2 drivers looking for their first Spring Sizzler win. Woody Pitcat a distant third. 2 laps to go, 1 mile to run down to the line, and it's 2 cars to settle it at the front.
It is Kopcik continuing to hold on. Does Anthony Nacella have anything up his sleeve as he looks to try to move back in? But Steven Kopcik's got a rocket. White flag is out. 1 lap to go in the greatest race in the history of spring.
Kopcik into turn 1 for the final time. Race leader Anthony Nocella will have 1 final shot down in turn number 3. Running in second, couple cars in the outside wall, and the caution comes out.
Caution flag is out when Anthony Nacella and Matt Hirschman were running up front and tangled in the closing laps. Here is the green. Kopcik is still the guy in command. And Woody Pitcat is working his magic to move into second.
White flag, 1 lap to go. Here comes Woody Pitcat. Kopcik trying to fend him off. Nocella in the outside lane. Turn 1 for the final time, potentially. Woody Pitcat digging on the bottom. They come together just a bit. That allows Kopcik to pull away.
Kopcik in command. Off turn number 4. Steven Kopcik's biggest career win, the Spring Sizzler here at Stafford. Finishing unofficially in second. What a comeback. Woody Pitcat. And what about the run of Anthony Nacella to finish in third? And from the Carolinas back home, Matty Galko will finish in the 4th spot. Rounding out the top 5, Joey Cipriano. Brian Roby to finish in the 6th spot. Tyler Ripkema finishing in 7th. Dana DiMatteo is 8th. Timmy Salamito still in 9th. David Arute was 10th. Marcello Rafano is 11th. Matt Hirschman, 12th. Sammy Ramo, 13th. It is William Lambros, 14th. And rounding out the top 15, Eric Goodale.
So Steven Kopcik.
He came, he saw, he conquered. He has proven his ability as a driver, a setup guy, and a winner in the greatest race in the history of spring. The 53rd Napa Auto Parts Spring Sizzler. And look at Steven Kopcik smiling from ear to ear, getting out of the race car. Steven Kopcik has done it here at Stafford.
Let's go trackside and hear from him.
And as he's getting congratulations from his crew, we'll wait for Steven to step in and talk to us. Big hug from his dad. Steven, take us through those last few laps, the restart, and then the pass before that to gain the lead back, and then those frantic last 2 laps.
Yeah, it was definitely nerve-wracking. I thought the race would have been over with that last caution. I can't believe we went back green, but that's just when you got to pull it together and really dig hard and do the best you can and don't give up.
Now, I know it's only been a couple of minutes, but how does it feel to be a winner and etch your name into the list of champions that have won the Spring Sizzler?
It's unbelievable. There's a lot of history to this race. Some of the best guys from the Tour, Stefanik, Chan Leedy, Silk won the last two, and Matt and Tony Hirschman, just all the big names that have won this race. It's just cool to add my name to that list on that trophy.
Well, there's a lot of people you need to thank.
Come on! What I tell you, buddy?
There's a lot of people you need to say thank you to for picking up the win here today.
Yeah, for sure. Karcher Warehouse Logistics, Kerrigan, John Kerrigan, Hams Welding, Creative Racing Products, Don Barker, the whole Barker family helps me out tremendously, provides me with everything I need to set this thing up. And Mr. Franzosa back home, Joe Kress here, as you pull it, and Tom Wanick. We couldn't do this. Tom Wanick, in memory of his father, and just everyone that's here helping me today. I mean, we've got an awesome bunch of guys. I hope we can continue to do more together.
Stephen Kopcik, the winner of the 53rd running of the greatest race in the history of spring. Let's go over to John Gates, who has our second place finisher.
Yeah, that second